Does your restaurant menu sell your food? This is the importance of having enticing menu descriptions. Have you ever walked into a restaurant, picked up their menu and walked out? I know I certainly have. If the menu's written as an afterthought, I don't want to eat their foods. Why? Because as a first impression, the menu tells so much about what's going on behind that closed kitchen door. When a chef or restaurant owner doesn't care enough about how he presents his food on the menu, how much will he care about how he presents it to you? The same amount of thought that you, as a restaurateur, put into creating your dishes must also go into creating your menu. If you know you make the best grilled salmon dish in town, how will you present that information to your guests? You must have a menu that sings the praises of your foods without sounding too self-serving. It's hard for us as chefs and owners to see our restaurant and our food as others do. This is why some things are better left to the experts. Now let's compare two hypothetical casual restaurants featuring Italian and American dishes for lunch. Here's the menu as it was initially presented. Spaghetti and meatball, pork chop, mashed potatoes and vegetable. BLT, breaded chicken patty on a hamburger bun. Fried fish and chips. Pastrami sandwich. What's wrong with this menu? Everything! The items are just listed with no thought. There are no descriptions of the items, and if you're not from this country, you may be scratching your head trying to figure out what a BLT is. Also, what's the first thing you think of when you see breaded chicken patty on a menu? If you're like most people, you're thinking frozen. How about the spaghetti and meatball? Is it a typo, or are they trying to tell me I'm only going to get one meatball? Fried fish is another phrase that screams frozen to me. And from everything else I see on the menu, I just know the fries are frozen. They'll come to my table greasy, limp and cold. If this restaurant wants to stay in business, they need to up the ante. If they're using quality foods, then they need to let their customers know. If they're using subpar items, they need to start buying quality ingredients. Customers today are very knowledgeable about food. If you don't serve quality, they won't be back. However, if you do serve them quality foods, they will gladly pay the higher prices those menu items will command. Let's take that before menu and present it so that it sells itself to the customers. Linguine with meatballs. Fresh pasta covered in house-made sauce, accompanied by 3 large meatballs made with a combination of beef and pork, fresh spices and herbs. Pan-seared pork chops. 2 perfectly pan-seared juicy pork chops served with herb-dusted fingerling potatoes and butter-roasted asparagus. Not your mother's BLT. Crisp applewood smoked thick sliced bacon piled high on freshly toasted artisana 12-grain bread with spring greens, heirloom tomatoes and a light touch of our house-made aioli. Grilled basil pesto herb chicken breast on a ciabatta roll. Our grilled herb chicken breast served on thick sliced toasted Italian bread with basil pesto, a touch of our house-made vinaigrette and topped with fresh greens and sliced heirloom tomato. Fish and chips. 2 tender white fish fillets lightly battered in a tempura-style batter, deep fried and served with crispy French fries. Slow smoked pastrami on New York deli rye. We start by generously rubbing a beef brisket with our special dry rub. It then smokes for up to 12 hours. Once it's done, it's melt-in-your-mouth tenderness. And we take it a step further by gently steaming it to get all the juices flowing. It's hand-sliced hot out of the steamer and piled high atop a thick-cut New York rye, served with a side of our house-made coleslaw and a dill pickle. Most customers will remember the first item and the last item they read, so we started and finished with the items we wanted most to promote, either due to a high profit margin or it being our speciality. There are additional ways to draw your customers' attention to particular items. Borders, coloured typeface, stars, bold type, etc. These are all part of the menu layout and help you communicate your menu successfully. Once you have a menu that works for you, remember that every server in your restaurant should be completely knowledgeable on each menu item. When a customer asks a question, your server must know the answer without running back to the kitchen to check. Consider cheat sheets for your servers and tell them it's part of their job to study the items and be ready to handle any customer questions they may get. A cheat sheet should also help the server upsell the customer and direct them to beer, wine, salads, desserts, and any other additional items which can bolster the overall ticket price. Here's a sample of a good staff cheat sheet for the pastrami sandwich. This sandwich is for the ultimate meat lover, and with our secret house rub and smoking technique, this pastrami is unique in the area. No one has anything else like this. Our imported XYZ beer is a great match with this sandwich, or if you prefer a wine, the deep hickory smoked flavours in the pastrami pair very well with our XYZ Burgundy. Don't forget to save some room for our New York style cheesecake for dessert to complete your New York deli experience. In today's highly competitive restaurant business, something as simple as updating your menu, training your staff about each dish, and presenting it in a way that guarantees a higher profit can mean the difference between success and failure. At CFO Business Solutions, helping you increase profits is our goal, and we have the experts who will guide you through each step to attain that goal. Our menu writing services includes a consultation with a professional chef. Contact us today to discuss how we can help.